You are letting people die. Right now. As you watch this. Not because you're cruel. Not because you don't care. Because you've been psychologically programmed to look away, scroll past, and feel nothing. And the people who start wars? They're counting on exactly that. They don't fear your weapons. They don't fear your protests. They only fear one thing: the moment you wake up and realize you were never just a spectator. You were always part of the game. Here is something no news channel will ever tell you. Wars don't survive on bullets alone. They survive on your silence. Your confusion. Your exhaustion. Your feeling that it's too complicated, too far away, too political to understand. That feeling, that helpless, defeated numbness you get after 5 minutes of war news, was not accidental. It was manufactured. Deliberately. Scientifically. By people whose entire job is to make sure you never feel powerful enough to care. This is called learned helplessness. And it is the most powerful psychological weapon ever deployed against civilian populations. The moment you believe nothing you do matters, you stop doing anything. And when ordinary people stop doing anything, wars never end. But it goes deeper than that. Because some of you didn't go numb. Some of you got angry. You shared the videos. You posted the outrage. You argued in comment sections at 2 in the morning feeling like you were fighting for something real. And you were manipulated just as completely as the person who looked away. Here is the dark truth: both reactions, the numbness and the rage, are the desired outcome. Psychological operations units, which every major military power in the world runs right now, have 2 goals and 2 goals only. Make the people who might resist feel powerless. And make the people who are already emotional feel more emotional, until their rage becomes fuel for the very machine they think they're fighting against. Your anger was harvested. Packaged. Sold back to you as justice. While the war kept going. Let me show you exactly how this works inside your brain. When you see a devastating war video, your amygdala fires in under a second. That's the part of your brain wired for survival, for immediate threat response. It does not know the difference between a real danger in front of you and a video on a screen. It just reacts. Cortisol floods your system. Your heartbeat rises. Your palms sweat. Rational thought, the kind that asks questions, checks sources, considers context, goes completely offline. In that moment you are not a thinking person. You are a reacting animal. And a reacting animal will share without verifying. Will believe without questioning. Will support escalation without understanding consequences. Research from MIT confirms that emotionally charged content spreads 6 times faster than verified truth on social media. 6 times. War content is the most emotionally charged content that exists. Do the math. Every time you reacted, you were the distribution network for someone else's psychological operation. And here the part that should keep you up at night. The people dying in these wars, the real ones, the civilians, the children, the ordinary families, they are not dying only because of bombs. They are dying because the psychological machinery of war successfully convinced enough people, in enough countries, that the war was necessary. Justified. Inevitable. That machinery ran through your phone. Through your feed. Through your outrage. Through your silence. You were a node in the network that made mass death feel acceptable. Not because you were a bad person. But because you were never taught how this works. Until right now. So what do you actually do? Not helplessness. Not rage. Something harder than both. You become conscious. Before you watch war content, you ask who filmed this and what they gained from your reaction. Before you share, you wait 24 hours. Because almost nothing in a war is as simple as it looks in the first 24 hours. Before you feel certain, you deliberately seek the most credible voice from the other side. Not to agree, but to understand how millions of real human beings arrived at a completely different truth than yours. And when you feel that urgent, overwhelming need to react right now, you recognize it. You name it. You say to yourself, this is my amygdala. This is the weapon being used on me. And then you breathe. And you choose your response instead of just having one. That 10-second pause between stimulus and response, that is the most radical act of resistance available to a civilian in wartime. Because the machine cannot function without your unconscious reaction. Give it your conscious one instead. People are dying in wars right now. Real people. With names. with children, with entire lives that existed before the first bomb fell. They deserve more than your rage. They deserve more than your helplessness. They deserve the most dangerous thing you can offer, your clear, unmanipulated, conscious attention. Because a world full of people who think clearly is the only world where wars eventually become unacceptable. Not just tragic. Not just unfortunate. Unacceptable. You were never just a spectator. Start acting like it. Share this with one person who needs to hear it. Because the most powerful weapon against psychological warfare has always been awareness. And awareness starts with a single conversation. Subscribe, because there is so much more they are counting on you never knowing.